in his heart. He's waiting to come back. He's waiting to come back. Ali ibn Mahdiyar says, he says, I want to see that Imam of the time. This man says, get up. I'll take you to the Imam of the time. He says, but why has it been so long? He says, no one thing. It is sin that prevents us from seeing the Imam of the time. You see, when we talk about the Imam in Ghaiba, it doesn't mean the Imam's hidden somewhere. It means that our eyes are veiled. It doesn't mean that the Imam is in a parallel dimension. It means the Imam is here, he's walking, he's talking, but we can't recognize him because of our sins. So in the same way as Yusuf was, Yusuf's brothers go to Yusuf. Yusuf's brothers don't realize who Yusuf is. It doesn't mean Yusuf was hidden. That's why they say when the Imam comes back, you'll say, I know this guy, I've been looking at him for so long. He used to say salam to me, but I didn't realize. So what happens now? Ali ibn Mahdiyar goes, outside of Mecca there is a tent. He goes towards that tent. This man says, now get ready because the master of the times is coming. You know what happens? He goes towards the master of the times. He comes in. He says, it was the most Nurani day of my life. He falls on the ground. He kisses the Imam. He says, Imam, why didn't you come and see me? You know what the Imam says? I was there waiting for you. Why didn't you come and see me? He says, why, Imam? What happened? He said, there are 3 qualities if a person has, he becomes mahrum. He won't be able to see me. He says, what is those qualities, Imam? The Imam then says, he says, you want to see me remove these 3 qualities. He says, the first quality is this, that when you walk on the ground, you walk with arrogance when you meet other people. Arrogance of a person destroys a person. Takabbur, kibr. What is kibr? What is arrogance? What is arrogance? Arrogance is that when you violate your parameters and you violate another person. Why? Because you have a deficiency inside of yourself. That's why. If you look at people who are arrogant, it's because they are suffering and they have a deficiency. A person who is in absolute peace doesn't have a deficiency like that. When he meets people, he meets them humbly because he knows what he has is golden. But when a person who has nothing, who is void, when he meets someone, he meets them with arrogance because he has a complex. You see, he says, when a person meets another person in arrogance, at that moment, no. That moment, know that I won't come and see you. That's why in the tradition it says, when you meet a believer, become humble in front of that believer. Pretend to look at yourself and see, you are meeting the Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. This is why tonight, if not anything, remove the difficulties and the problems you may have amongst each other. I know wherever you go in the world, wherever center, people have issues with each other, right? Tonight is that night. Remove those issues from your hearts, because know your du'as are accepted when those negativities are removed. If you have those negativities, Allah can say to you, if you can't remove those negativities, why should I answer your prayers? Why should I forgive you? Can't forgive your brother then. Forgive your brother tonight. Forgive your brother and say, Allah, I have forgiven this brother, now you forgive me. Don't hold this bughd in your heart. Don't hold this aggression in your heart. Because if you hold this aggression, you find that on the moment of your death, it haunts you. Your death becomes difficult for you. But that's a different topic. You find the first thing it says that the first thing, if you walk in arrogance. It says the second thing though. You know what that second thing is? If you break the ties of relations, you break the ties of relations with your brothers. He says at that moment, he says that you will not see me. You see, look how important it is. But he comes to the third thing. And you know what that third thing is? He says that when your material wealth overcomes you, and in your life all you want to do is that material wealth, at that moment you find, what happens? Happens that you become separate from your Imam. Now,